Breaking news! A story that's been unfolding behind the scenes has finally come to light, and it could change everything you thought you knew about the Baltimore Ravens. Rumors, denials, emotional farewells, and a surprising turn of events from a key figure who has just broken the silence. But what's really going on inside the Ravens locker room? You're about to find out, and believe me, it's nothing like what the headlines have shown. But before we begin, like this post if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you want, comment, "Go Ravens," to show your purple pride loud and clear. Now let's get straight to the point. Todd Monken has officially closed the chapter on his tenure as the Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator. And he did it with one of the most transparent, honest, and surprisingly heartfelt interviews we've seen in years. Appearing on the Ryan Ripken show, Monken didn't hold back. He set the record straight, not just for his own legacy, but for the entire Ravens organization. Let's address the elephant in the room. Were things falling apart between Monken and Lamar Jackson? Were there real tensions behind closed doors? According to Monken himself, absolutely not. He emphasized that his relationship with Lamar was good and flat out denied any notion of conflict. In his own words, "I never had an issue with Lamar. I never saw Lamar and Coach Harbaugh not have a great relationship. Never. Not one time." That's not just deflection. That's a man trying to preserve the integrity of everyone involved, including himself. But why was this important? Because in the NFL, perception matters. If the narrative around Monken was that he clashed with a two-time MVP quarterback and a long-tenured head coach, that could have torpedoed his reputation moving forward. Teams don't want dysfunction, and Monken knew that. So, this wasn't just about setting the record straight for the fans, it was a strategic move to keep his name clean in league circles. Then came the discussion about Harbaugh. For weeks, fans and analysts speculated that Harbaugh had lost the locker room, that his voice, after 18 years, had simply grown stale. Again, Monken came to his defense in a big way. "You're going to tell me that John Harbaugh's message after 18 years all of a sudden isn't clear? He's the best I've been around besides Kirby Smart," Monken said. That level of praise wasn't performative, it was personal. Monken acknowledged that coaches and players alike have to own it when things go wrong, and he didn't run from accountability. He didn't point fingers. He looked in the mirror. "We had to coach better. We had to play better," he admitted. And that's the kind of reflection fans respect. So what now? Monken made it clear. He's not coming back. The 3-year run in Baltimore is over. And yes, he says he'd do it all again. Leaving a powerhouse like Georgia for a shot with Lamar and the Ravens? No regrets. Despite falling short of a Super Bowl, Monken believes he left this offense better than he found it, and it's hard to argue otherwise. Under Monken, the offense evolved from a limited, predictable unit into a pick-your-poison machine. This wasn't just about stars like Mark Andrews or Zay Flowers. This was about development across the board. Isaiah likely stepped up. Rashad Bateman found consistency. Even Justice Hill took a huge leap forward. The offense finally felt like it was growing, evolving, modernizing. And yes, Lamar Jackson took a huge step under Monken. From 2022 to 2023, the jump was obvious. From 2023 to 2024, even crazier. Until the injuries hit. And let's not forget, Lamar wasn't healthy all year. Monken pointed that out not as an excuse, but as a reality check. Fans forget how dominant Lamar was early in the season. That Bills game, the Detroit game, he was electric. But when the injuries caught up, so did the limitations. Still, Monken showed admiration and appreciation for Lamar. He wanted to see the offense take that next step, and believed they were on track until everything unraveled. The message? There's no bad blood, only unfinished business. But that doesn't mean everyone believes the chapter ended cleanly. Some fans still suspect tension. After all, if Monken and Lamar were so tight, why wasn't Monken in consideration for the head coaching job? Why didn't Lamar publicly vouch for him to stay? Those are the questions that linger, the gray areas Monken's interview didn't fully clear up. So let's pick it up right where we left off. Despite Todd Monken's assertive efforts to shut down the rumors, some fans are still reading between the lines. Because while he painted a picture of harmony, others can't help but point out what wasn't said. For example, Monken acknowledged that his relationship with Lamar Jackson could have been better, a subtle but meaningful admission that not everything was perfect behind the scenes. And in the hyper-scrutinized world of the NFL, a statement like that only adds fuel to the fire. But what makes this situation even more layered is how the messaging aligned, or rather, didn't, across all parties. As Monken was defending himself, Lamar Jackson Entertainment, the social media account directly tied to Lamar's camp, was actively shutting down media reports that suggested there was friction between Lamar and Monken. One post even called out veteran reporter Gary Myers by name, denying his claim that the two had issues and tagging him directly to correct the record. That kind of coordination doesn't happen unless there's serious concern about how these stories are being perceived. So was this a damage control operation? A carefully orchestrated effort to protect both Monken's reputation and Lamar's public image? Or is it simply the truth that despite the noise, there was mutual respect, no drama, and this is just the NFL doing what it always does, stirring the pot? It's worth noting that even in defending himself, Monken hinted at a broader frustration with how narratives get shaped. He criticized the use of anonymous sources and made it clear that he was speaking on the record. That kind of directness is rare in pro football. Too often, coaches hide behind cliches. Not Monken. He looked the camera in the eye and said, "I'm not anonymous." That alone sets him apart, but perhaps the most revealing moment came when Monken talked about why he took the job in Baltimore in the first place. Leaving Georgia, one of the most stable, successful programs in college football, was no small decision. And despite the ups and downs, he said he'd make that decision again, without hesitation. That kind of loyalty, even after a departure, is rare. It wasn't bitterness. It was bittersweet. And this brings us to the present, the crossroads. John Harbaugh is gone. Monken is gone. Defensive coordinator Zach Orr appears to be on his way out, too, after a cryptic post on Instagram thanking God and saying he's excited for what's next. Classic code for "I'm moving on" in coach speak. So now the Ravens face the kind of clean slate they haven't had in nearly 2 decades. What kind of coach comes next? Will it be an offensive mind to pair with Lamar Jackson and maximize this offense? Or will the Ravens return to their defensive roots and find someone to restore that old-school Baltimore edge? One thing's for sure, the fan base is split. Some want an innovator, others want a motivator, but everyone wants results. And in the middle of this swirling storm is Lamar Jackson himself, fresh off another MVP-caliber season, still dealing with the nagging whispers about injuries, leadership, and postseason struggles. And now, again, preparing to learn a brand new offense under a brand new coach. The pressure is enormous, and make no mistake, Lamar knows it. This next chapter will define his legacy in Baltimore, maybe more than any MVP or playoff stat ever could. Meanwhile, DeAndre Hopkins posted a grateful Baltimore message that fans quickly interpreted as a goodbye. It hasn't been confirmed, but the timing is telling. Like Monken, Hopkins isn't waiting for a press release. He's making his feelings known through his own platform, just like everyone else in this new era of direct-to-fan communication. So, what does it all mean? The Ravens are no longer the team they were just weeks ago. The organization is undergoing a philosophical transformation, and whether it ends in another Super Bowl or a full-blown rebuild, one thing is certain: Ravens fans are entering unfamiliar territory. For the first time in 18 years, there is no Harbaugh leading the way. For the first time in years, Lamar Jackson doesn't know who's calling the plays. And for the first time in a long time, the Baltimore Ravens are unpredictable. And as this chapter closes, the one thing that remains is a feeling Ravens fans haven't experienced in almost 2 decades: uncertainty. Todd Monken's final words weren't bitter. They were proud of what was built, what was developed, and how far the offense came during his time in Baltimore. He didn't make excuses. He didn't point fingers. Instead, he owned the highs and the lows, praised Lamar Jackson's evolution, and made it clear that if he had to do it all over again, he absolutely would. That's not the voice of a coach running from failure. That's someone who believed in what this team could have been, and maybe still believes in what it can become. But now, Monken is gone. Harbaugh is gone. The Ravens are a team in transition, looking for a new identity, a new leader, and maybe a new philosophy. The foundation is still there: Lamar Jackson, a core of young offensive weapons, and a fan base that's as passionate as ever. But the direction? That's completely up in the air. This is a rare moment in Ravens history, a true reset. And while there's uncertainty, there's also opportunity. The next hire could unlock a new era for Lamar. The next coaching staff could bring back the toughness and swagger that made Baltimore a nightmare for opponents. But only if the front office gets it right. So